Chicago Cubs News Today.
Welcome back to Chicago Cubs News Today, the channel where we do not let anything slip by when it comes to our favorite team. If you are a fan of the North Side, you already know, when Pete Crow-Armstrong is on the agenda, the conversation gets good. And today it is very good, because the ESPN analysts just released the ranking of the top 100 players in baseball, and PCA arrived with everything. But hold on, because along with this good news comes a prediction that will make you think a lot about what to expect from our center fielder in 2026. Stick around, because this analysis goes deep. Last Wednesday, the ESPN analysts released the traditional ranking of the top 100 players in baseball for the 2026 season. Pete Crow-Armstrong, the young center fielder for the Chicago Cubs, appeared in the impressive 22nd position, being the highest-ranked Cubs athlete on the entire list. Alongside him, other names from the North Side also made their presence known. Nico Horner in 55th, Alex Bregman in 61st, Dansby Swanson in 82nd, Michael Busch in 86th, and Seiya Suzuki in 92nd. A solid representation for an organization that is clearly building something special. To understand what is expected of Crow-Armstrong in 2026, we need to revisit the roller coaster that was his 2025 season. In the first half, the 23-year-old player was simply dominant. An OPS of .847, 27 stolen bases, and a call-up to the All-Star game. He was, in the words of ESPN journalist Jesse Rogers, arguably the best bad ball hitter in the first half of the season, capable of hitting practically any pitch, regardless of location. The problem is that this aggressive style took its toll in the second half, when his performance visibly dropped. In total, he ended the season with 31 home runs and 35 stolen bases. Very good numbers, but they hide the inconsistency between the two halves. For 2026, Rogers predicts a change in profile. 50 stolen bases and 20 home runs. That is, more speed, less power. You might be asking yourself, is this good or bad for the Cubs? Let me explain. If you enjoy high-intensity baseball, with stolen bases, constant pressure on the opposing defense, and plays that move the scoreboard in different ways, this version of PCA will thrill you. 31 home runs in a season are excellent, but 50 stolen bases, that puts him in a completely different category of players. It is the kind of stat that changes games, that creates runs out of nowhere, that makes the opponent make mistakes. On the other hand, if you are rooting to see PCA continue as a home run force, maybe it is time to adjust expectations, but do not diminish the enthusiasm. In my opinion, this transition makes complete sense for Crow-Armstrong's development as a player. What worries me is not the projected drop in home runs. It is the consistency over 162 games. The second half of 2025 showed that when opponents adapt their strategy against him, he can be exploited. The good news is that Crow-Armstrong seems to be aware of this. He is actively seeking evolution, and the fact that he has Alex Bregman as a teammate this season is something I find genuinely exciting. Bregman is one of the most disciplined players in the batter's box, in modern baseball, a guy who knows how to maintain a high OBP throughout an entire season. If PCA absorbs half of what Bregman has to teach, we could be looking at a player who is even more dangerous than the one from 2025. For the Chicago Cubs as an organization, Crow-Armstrong's evolution is central to the 2026 planning. With the team bringing in experienced pieces like Bregman, the idea seems to be to create an environment of maturity around the young talents. A more disciplined PCA in the batter's box, with a higher OBP and more presence on the bases, boosts the entire lineup, especially with power hitters right behind him in the batting order. The team has the ingredients to make a serious run this season, and Crow-Armstrong's level will undoubtedly be one of the decisive factors. Now, I want to know your opinion, Cubs fan. Would you rather see PCA with 30 home runs or with 50 stolen bases? Which version of him thrills you more? Leave it in the comments down below. This is one of the most interesting discussions we can have about our team right now. There is no wrong answer, there is only true fandom. If you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking with us on Chicago Cubs News Today. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, this is the moment. Click the subscribe button, activate the notification bell, and stay on top of everything that happens with the Chicago Cubs analysis, news, behind the scenes, and much more. The season is coming, and we will be here every step of the way. Let's go, Cubs!